is Venerable Jiru. He is the abbot of Mid-America Buddhist Association in Augusta, Missouri, where he teaches meditation and mindfulness, among other things. Master Jiru studied and was ordained in Theravada Buddhism in Thailand in 1980. He later studied Chinese Buddhism and ordained in Mahayana Chan tradition under the late Buddhist master Venerable Jiru in 1986. His topic is turning a lemon into lemonade, which sounds so refreshing on a warm day like today. So, Master Jiru, I will pass it to you. Thank you.
Good morning. All the listeners in Zoom, because of this pandemic, so we are not alone, cannot get along into facing to each other of this Vesak Day celebration. But even though like that, we still try our best, have the connection to our community and open up ourselves to sharing to who interested in the Dharma. My topic just now, Lenora already shared with you all. I was going to start this topic right away. So when you see this topic, turn a lemon into lemonade, it's very Western. But when I going to my talk, it's really very India and Chinese culture background to express my understanding of this topic. First, we go to the part one. The great master shine through ages whose models of conduct still remain. Buddhism starts in one man action who looking for his own self-awakening. He is Gautama, Siddhartha Gautama. This man brings the humanity realization of the truth, and the life itself awaken and carry on processing until today's modern century. It still become the resolve to spiritual awakening of mankind. He says something that inside or use wisdom as the water to bath yourself, you will have that pure, you will have that calmness of serenity. Not the Ganges river can bring you liberation. This teaching will teach 400 years or 300 years before the Christ. And he mentioned use the compassion, empowerment others. Let their potential open up, walking with himself to liberation. So two things make me feel this master is the great. Compassion as a water bath yourself to purify your own inner obstacle. use compassion, empowerment to others, inspire them walking by themselves to liberation. Second, I want to say is turning the impossible into possible. That is for many, many years my own study, investigate, and practice of Dharma. The teaching of the master really makes sense to me, even though today's scientific, spiritual, or craftsmanship spiritual, or we call that Chan practitioners, as I am, name myself, of trainers of Chan practice. It is not easy, so that I watching myself in the training and practice life, I put it into this word. It is easy to dream, yet it might take indulgence of a whole life, or even many lives to realize a dream. Discovery use evidence to say something, or you are the God of the truth. Even though you value it, you are in front of discovery, or you are very honest to serve. This is what I know about. When a practitioner in the Dharma, you at first may be someone to explore, try to realize, try to enlighten. Some skillful means some theories is workable for yourself. You must focus in this point in order you found something and turn that into your skillful means, upgrading yourself. For what? Overcome the stress. If you can make that in the profound meaning of Zen, it is you are the incarnation of the Dharma. So enlightenment have two meanings. One is you realize something, but it's not all the time you can put it into benefit. The second one is from that what you know, you master it and turn that into fruition. From there on, you got all the beneficial forever, the time and space. So how to turn that stress into stress release? I want to take some example when I do a lot of reading in this very short time. When Buddhism come to China, it took into the northern, come to the desert land of Xinjiang, and from Xinjiang, definitely you won't miss it. That is the cave of Mogaoku, or the Dunhuang city. That is the culture or civilization exchange from the West, from the India, and from China in this Dunhuang. So Dunhuang cave have 1,200 years continually processing and continually need to take care. That is two persons. When I read the history from Dun Huang, bring the teaching to China, I found these two very, very touching men, as what I know. The first one is called Chang Su Hong. The second one is called Fan Jingsi. If who more interested about them, you can go to the website and know their autobiography very easy. I just want to make things very short to tell a story like this. Chang Su Hong is the artist who finished and training, very famous in France, Paris, but he gave up his career and opportunity or excellent opportunity connected to the modern world of his time. But he back to China and go to the desert or hold fast, stick to desert of his whole life. Just do one thing. God defend the cultural property of Dun Huang. What is the meaning of Dun Huang? I don't want to say too much. It need to explore by yourself. But it just there, starving and get the hardship life, repelling all the painting, statue, and other cultural property of Buddhism. He abandons what he have, even though his wife abandoned him and their children not been educated very well, but he still master investigation team, become the principal, doing all this work, making all the painting as copy and fixing all what he can to spend his whole life there. This is the word that in the end of his life, this life just for Dun Huang, after death too, to return to Dun Huang. So his ash buried back to the north side, facing to Dun Huang in a hilly mountain. Life break away from the civilized world, miserable life into hardship is because of he sees something is valuable, need to use his whole life strength to protect. Second, I want to say is Fan Jingsi. Fan Jingsi have one book, can share with you all. This is the Dun Huang's when the Fan Jingsi's finished Dun Huang's, because he is take over the responsibilities of Dun Huang's cave artist project, and then he digital all this information, convenient for the modern time to understand how is the Greek artist work, Buddhist work and civilization about Europe, India, and China's civilizations have exchanged in this place. Her life is university finished in Beijing, then just put the whole life into Dunhuang, 57 years. Until 60, he became the principal of Dunhuang. No retirement, carry on this work until 80 years old. Push all these protections of Dunhuang into another higher step so that it can connect it to the modern life, showing all this ancient, valuable information to the new generation in our area. So the government of China give her the title of Cultural Relics Protector, Outstanding Contributor. That is how I translate in my poor English. But another translation may be very well translated. She have another title is called The Beauties of Stranger, Strugler. Means all her effort, strength, all put into art work. Art is showing beauty. Some people say if you study Fan Jingshi, it means you study the modern Dunhuang developed history. That is what I want to say for her life. Mokaku, or we call that the cave of Mokaku, is the humanity's beauty, is the artist's beauty, is the spirit beauty of Chinese Buddhism across from India. Not only in Chinese Buddhists there, you can have lots of exchange civilization between Greek culture, European culture, Muslim culture, and then Catholic, Christian culture, more like, of course, is Buddhist culture. Who going to protect Dunhuang? It needs a professional, enthusiastic, and attachment mind who involved into it. This is a group of people, a big team of people, generation to generation, stick to the desert, willing to contribute themselves into this project. Second, I want to say is 2 monks in the history who really help a lot. One is from Sri Lanka, Yanaponika Piku. One is in Taiwan, from China, Yingshun Master. Yingshun Master is the old master that I've been with her many times and not been able to learn from him because of the aging. Yanaponika, 1901, born in Germany. The early child of a Jewish family. In 1937, took higher ordination to become a Buddhist monk. From there on until 1994, in the age of 93 years old and 58 years of the monk life, passed away at Ottawa Tikali Forest Hermitage. His contributions is the Dharma text, writing and translation in German language and English. Of course, later on, the famous Bhikkhu's Bodhi is a carry on this project to showing the Theravada Buddhist teachings to the Western world. But another Chinese Buddhist monk, Yingshun Bhikkhu, her life is from 1906 into 2005, the age of 99 years old, passed away in Taiwan. His life is very famous in the Chinese Buddhist study of the scholars' investigation, and more than 25 years of his life research all that information and Buddhist studies been researched by the scholar and been criticized by the scholar, been learned from the scholar every year until today. He is the most famous Chinese language Buddhist study in Asia. Next part I want to say, poor in living, riches on travel. As a Dharma seeker, we sowing our own seed of liberation. Practice the real dharmas of perfection very sure. It is a path of, I want to name it, it's just poor in living and rich on traveling. That is my grandpa teach me this term in my very young age of 5. My grandpa said that, you know what, when we stay in the home, we don't have to worry too much. It just be simple and easy. You give all the material support, or you give every penny what you can. In order one day you travel or travel on the road, you can bring it with you. It is the riches, or it is the value to support you on the way. Even though that teaching is very seclusion, it just become a mundane side talking about material support or becomes economic support. But when I become monks later on, and until today, I see that have a profound meaning, turn it into more spiritual. That is, when you learn the Dharma, you need to keep it in times when you're traveling or you're reaching, touching to the world. You need to spend it in uses. Otherwise, you will be very poor. So practice Buddha Dhamma means you need to spend it on the way. If we say that spend it on your way means that anytime it needs to apply to practice, apply to reality. If you don't do that, it will be very poor. So that is what I use it for meaning. Led by generosity and morality, willing to go through thick and thin together, simple and plain, strive to improve oneself unlimitedly. This is the word I want to put it into encourage myself. Next one, unshakable resolve. Life is short. A lifetime do one thing, do the right thing. Do one thing in life attentively, focus to do it, just easy to success. A lot of times we don't examine it enough, or we don't have insight from time to time to investigation like a scientist. From time to time, we try to upgrade the skill like the craftsmanship, or from time to time, we try to explore it like a Zen practitioner. Then one lifetime, do many things. Sometimes one lifetime just change his career, change his desire, determined to many things. So for myself, I'm thinking back of how to turn a lemon into lemonade, means one lifetime do one thing. That you need to determine what kind of thing is very challenging. It's keep you strengthened, keep you energetic to put all the time and energy into it. And it will turn it into fruition of happiness or fruition of liberation. That is what I say, that do one thing in life, choosing Dharma, choosing the word connected to Dharma. Next point I want to say, cultivations of meditation and insight turn bitterness into happiness, renunciate solitarily. In 1995, I finished one term of Chinese medical science in Xiamen University of China. So that I've been studying Chinese internal medical science. Of course, in that career study, I need to read and study a lot of herbs. I find one kind of herb is written here called gan chao, licorice. This kind of grass or plants is very interested. It grows in the very hardship desert land, not much water, and then they carry on growing. This root of this grass have the sugar about 50 times compared to sugarcane. It survives in very poor environment, but it produces a lot of good chemical for the herb purpose. This brings me to think about how you put your life into. Like a Buddhist saying, supreme path and practice is self-reliant, relying to yourself. The noble path relies on the holy people. And key point is insight and observations inwardly. You need to depend on yourself. Some saying is like that, training that does not discipline the mind is useless. Gan chao is the plant that not much you can see in the plant, but rooted very deep, and the root is very, very long into the soil. If you want to take it, then you will find his rooted is very, very deep into the soil. In order it can bring enough water to supply the plant in the very hardship, crude environment. So gan chao makes sense a lot to me. The survival of gan chao is like turn the lemon into lemonade. Not only yourself got survival potential, but benefit to more wider condition to the human world. Last, I want to say, take the Buddha as example. Practice the Bodhisattva path by all means. Forget oneself and be selfless. What is simple to understand, but not easy to put it into practice. But it have no other way to go in this modern lifetime, especially come to digital computer science world. A lot of openness already from the senses contact into computer contact. A lot of upgrading work and service need to carry on from generation to generation by all walks of Buddhist Sangha, lay and monastic. If we are mature enough and more remember the model example of the Buddha himself as a one man walk in the life of his own awakening, until today it become more than 3 billion of people who follow his path. We are in the connection. We are in the histories showing our own practice and showing our way of the path in front and explore by the future generation. We must try our best. That is the end of what I'm sharing to you all. May this word from my very bottom of the heart can have a little bit test to you in the Vesak day as the monastic come to the West. This is a very hardship life to open up our own self, connected the Dharma to all living beings, not only the human being, but all living beings, because all living being is interconnected in the relationship in this modern time. I hope that Western world, Western civilization can learn more of Indian civilization and can sharing more information about Chinese civilization and make today the Dunhuang is a meaningful of the openness. Western civilization, Indian civilization, and Chinese civilization need harmony together. If they cannot make harmony together, human beings cannot turn the lemon into lemonade. Thank you.